Hi everybody, welcome to my latest video. This one is long, but it's packed with stuff, and I think it's one of my favorite videos to date, and that's because, of course, my parents are still here, and they're working as a team to get the walls on the water tower and turn that into a structure that is way better than I ever could have hoped for. It's a wonderful addition to my place, and they're just working really hard on it. Plus, we get the tank up on the tower with the help of Sinead, do some stuff in the garden. I have a crack at indoor plumbing, which is totally new to me. I use an amazing tool, and we test the strength of my pump to see if this tank will even fill, which is a bit of a tense moment. And we try out the shower to see if gravity can feed the cold water tap. So there's a lot of stuff happening in this video. It's really fun. It's a lot of new things for me that I'm doing, and I think my parents are having a good time as well, working on the tower together. So I hope you enjoy this one. If you do, please give the video a like, share it around if you know people that might be interested in what I'm doing, and enjoy the video, and I'll see you again at the end. So it's a brand new day. The sun is shining. It's quite glorious out here. And I had grand plans yesterday to make some decisions about this water tank. I basically need to figure out how to orient it so that it makes sense for the fittings and the outlets and all that stuff. I have to screw this into the top, which means drilling some holes. So I've got a lot of work to do on this, run some pipes, all that fun stuff. I do love outdoor plumbing, but figuring it out, figuring what you want to do, getting everything positioned well, getting the taps in the right spots, does take some thought. So as usual, I've delayed that, but I'm going to tackle it this morning. But first, I have to take the car tractor down to Sinead's and get some more wood, because Mom and Dad have been going for it on the tool shed, and they're putting the walls on. I need some more supplies. So the car tractor is at the ready. Mom's back on staining duty. Hello.
Hello.
And my dad's up on the porch under the pergola, under the shade that quickly becomes sunny as the sun moves around, so we're going to try to put another solution out front. But he's been investigating the pump.
And if you ever want to clean out the filter, that's it.
Okay.
Right.
So the pump for some reason has always been mystifying to me, but it's apparently pretty straightforward. So I got a recommendation for which one to get from a friend, and my dad's investigating the plumbing.
So, picks out. Picks in, picks out.
Picks in, picks out.
I don't know if you want to. I don't think you need to bother, but it's up to you. You might want to put some Teflon tape on here or not.
Teflon and everything. That's what the guy at the plumbing store always says. So, yeah. So I'm gonna go down to Sinead's and load up the car. So this stuff is pine offcuts. It costs 65 euros for a gigantic bundle, and most people generally use it for firewood. A lot of people have also used it for sidings of huts, and that's what my dad's trying to do. And in my opinion, I would have looked at this and thought, there's really nothing I can do with this. It's pretty thin, but he's making it work, and it looks really good as well once you get it sanded and stained. So I'm on the hunt for some more pieces like this. I'll stick them in the car tractor, load her up, and then take it up to my parents, who are hard at work on the walls. So I'm just going to keep looking for good wood, which is proving a little difficult, and loading up the car. These things are super light, so I can probably cram a whole bunch of these into the car tractor. However, I don't know how many decent ones I can find. I can see lots of good ones at the bottoms of the pile, but the tops are looking a little sketchy. But isn't that always the way? But I'll take up what I can so my parents can get started this morning back on making the walls. Okay, the wood has arrived. Dad's unloading it. Mom's staining.
Still.
And I'm gonna tackle that blue thing. So this should do the trick. Time to make a hole. So of course, I drilled the hole too high. I didn't take into consideration this little lip here, but nothing a hacksaw can't fix, so I've got a bit of a bodge job going on. However, the only purpose of this thing is to hold the other side in place. It doesn't have to, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna leak basically, it's just gonna be firing the water through the pump and into the tank. So the purpose of this is to hold everything, and I think it's still gonna do its job. So I think this should work, and it's gonna be made a lot more easy now that this tank is on the side. It's actually much smaller than it seems when it's upright, so I'll easily be able to work and fiddle around with things until I get it right. Okay, that'll do. If this was the outlet, I would be a lot more worried, but since it's the inlet, I think it's gonna be fine.
It's hard in here because of the rocks. So I should have put that lumpy one on first.
Live and learn. Sometimes we have to learn things the hard way. And speaking of learning things the hard way, let's see if I can get this right this time. You have to account for this thickness to have the thing sit flat. There's a bit of thickness of the tank, so just to give myself some extra room, let's go there and there. And then I'll find the middle, and that's where I'll start the hole. Okay, hole done. I've got space for the actual fittings. Just clean that up, get the fitting on. And then what do you think? Ready to stick it on the tower?
I might have a wee bit of prep to do for getting it up there.
All right.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Okay, and you're going to stick your long pipes on.
Yeah, get the pipes on. The idea is to stick all the pipes on at the top of the tank so I don't have to be doing that on a ladder. We'll stick it all up, and then once it's up, I'll be able to do all the fittings at the bottom. So if everything goes smoothly from my end, hopefully when you see us next, we'll be ready to stick this up on the tower.
Okay, we'll get it up top. Get a stick or something, get it up on top of that.
Let me get a stick. So we're trying to figure out some shade because the sun likes to creep over the shade that I made, that we both made. So above here?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Okay, and then we can raise it up on the other side.
A little higher on that.
Yeah. And then we're kind of enclosed.
Tracy won't be happy.
Tracy will not be happy, but there's gonna be plenty of sun when there's no people around. So she's ready to go up. Is everyone excited?
Woo!
Excited, Mom?
I'm excited.
She's the foreman over there, but
Coming.
not paying attention. She's gonna guide us around. And this is going up there. All right, here we go.
Great.
Wish us luck. And we've got this big pipe to deal with.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of things to hold on to.
No.
No. So,
Oh, it is light.
yeah, it's not so heavy. Ready?
There's 3 of us.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not taking any.
Oh, I'll take this over here. So you could probably hold here. Just in there, and then I can hold this bottom thing. Or the bottom. Ready?
Ah, sure, she's
Okay.
She's light.
Okay.
Okay, I'll lead on.
Everyone's good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. It feels kind of tippy over on our side.
Wait, the tree's caught on the pipe, okay? Watch it.
Can we lower it down for a second?
Got
We
it.
good?
No, we got
Okay,
it.
we're good.
You're good past the tree.
Alright.
Okay, we'll put it down.
Okay.
Huh?
Lower it down. Alright. Phase 1.
Easy.
So, I feel like we could do a
I think we can just.
deadlift. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
Yeah, it's on the edge.
You Kirsty, it's all,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
it's all about you.
Ah, sure, that was easy, lads.
Ah, no problem. Whee!
It's in the way a bit.
What do you think, Mom?
Great. It's gonna come more forward though, right?
Okay.
And turn. That's great.
Yeah, we can maneuver it. Thoughts? I would say so. Yeah. Winner?
Chicken dinner.
All right.
Winner,
thumbs
winner,
up.
chicken dinner.
Thumbs up, high fives all around. She's a beaut. So it's looking good up there. Well done. And now?
You just found
Lunch.
maybe on this side, is it?
Salmon. Chanted evening.
How's your wrist?
Oh, just meant to take it off.
Yeah, look at you.
I forgot.
You need it for sandwich
You
support.
never know how injured you're going to get while eating a sandwich.
It's a pretty heavy sandwich.
It was okay before the big lift.
The lift of the sandwich or the lift of the water tank?
That doesn't look too bad.
All right, lunch is over. Time to get back to it. Mom and Dad are hard at work. I just wanted to stop by these amazingly beautiful flowers. I grew them from a tiny cutting. And I definitely feel like I want to get some more cuttings and spread them around the place because they just bring such joy. So Sinead is down at her place gathering up some cardboard. And she and I are gonna blitz the garden. And due to having just so many other things on our plates, and also due to the fact that we keep pushing this job aside, we said we were gonna go big on the garden, but I think we're just gonna go little this year so that we can focus on our building projects and push things forward a little more quickly. But I love growing tomatoes, I love growing cucumbers, and I love growing peppers. So those will be the focus, with a couple of other things thrown in, including some Tuscan kale, some strawberries. I think I have some spinach in the greenhouse, and hopefully lots of sunflowers as well. It looks like the ant methods that I used have been pretty successful on the lime tree, and the rest of the garden seems to be much better as well. Yeah, no signs of ant life in there, so that's great. Anyway, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. So here's the before, and you'll see me again once we have hopefully a few beds planted with tomatoes, basil, cucumbers, sunflowers,
I'm behind you.
and maybe a few other things. That was incredibly creepy.
Yes.
Well timed. Well timed. So you excited for the gardening?
Do it.
All right. So here's the before. Oh, we're gonna get to work and see you in a couple hours. So we've got Noisy Guy out strimming. Sinead and I are still working on the garden, so we'll do the before and after later on. And my dad's usually ponders with the beer. We don't have any more beers, so he's pondering with the nice lolly. What are you thinking? Happy with today's work?
Yeah, very good.
How about you?
Yes, I made a dent.
Yeah?
Certainly did, though.
Look at that.
Yeah, but that's not counting the ones I put up.
Let's go take a look. So, some serious sanding and staining happening there. Yes, it in. And over here, we have the space becoming enclosed, and it's really amazing. Hi guys, it's a gorgeous night out here, and I wasn't actually going to film tonight because my parents and I have been in town and we went for some Chinese food. We were going around some shops and we bought a whole bunch of plumbing supplies, and this evening my plan was to put it all together and just get on with things, but I finished it up. It looks pretty janky. I was working on it for a couple hours trying to figure out the best way to do things because I want same pipe that brings the water in from the tank to be able to be used to water my garden as well. So that takes some mental arithmetic trying to figure out where all the tubes are going to go. So I've set it all up, it's ready to go, and now the moment of truth. Is my pump powerful enough to actually get the water up to the top of the tank? So I'm going to give that a go tonight, because if I can get the tank filled at least part way, I can check for leaks tomorrow and move on with some other things as well. So I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day, but very rewarding one, really fun, and I'm excited to see if this is gonna work. So there is some craziness happening. The tap at the end of this pipe is off. This is going to be, I guess, the outlet from the tank, and I want it to be able to go also to the garden. But for the moment, I'm focused only on getting the water into the tank. And I did pump, and it did go in, but I've since added this crazy looking filter thing, and I don't know if the pump needs a little bit more juice to pass its way through that and then also get up. So this is a bit nerve-wracking, because if it doesn't work, I'll either need to scrap the filter altogether or buy a larger pump. So the water's on, the tank is filling this one. I'm gonna switch some taps and hopefully I start hearing water going into there. Okay, this guy has to go on. I annihilated him with a streamer by accident, but it still works. And then this one goes off. And let's go investigate. What do you guys think? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? What about you? I hear things. I hear things. I hear things. What a beautiful sound that is. The water's filling and it's going through the filters. I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. So I'm gonna fill it up a little bit and then I'll keep an eye out for leaks tomorrow. I still haven't tightened everything up the way it should be, but yeah, I'm tired, and I think that if I get the water into the tank, that'll be a good test of all the joins. So we've got water bubbling away into there. Apparently this filter here takes out the big chunky stuff, and then this filter takes out the smaller stuff. You can attach other filters on that do different things. Ones that take out lead, ones that take out finer particles. But since this isn't drinking water, I'm happy with having these two filters, and it's what they recommended. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna fill this bad boy up, gonna go have some dinner, and I'll report back on the leaks in the morning. But it's a glorious day, and I feel very, very happy about how this has all worked out. It's another incredibly beautiful day. It's fairly early and my mom is back on the sander. I tried to lure her down to the garden for a change of pace, but she's really into the sanding and staining. My dad is measuring out the wood that I brought up to him, and he's gonna push on with the walls. So together, they're the dream team for the little cabin. And Sinead is walking up the hill right now, and she and I are going to finally blitz this garden and get it done, because these plants need to get in the ground and we've been delaying and delaying. It's time to finally get it done. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
How's it going?
Mighty.
Lovely day.
Yeah, it is.
So I've got the cardboard down. Basically, we just need to wet it, puncture holes in it, get the plants in, put some mulch on, and make one more bed because I have so many tomatoes and I also have loads of sunflowers that I'd like to get in as well. These winter gardens are just going to stick around as is, quite experimental, and we'll pull things up as we feel like it's ready. And I guess it's just time to get to work.
Yes. I mean, I'm already working.
That's very true, and I'm just...
Back up there now, Kirsty.
I will put the camera away and give you a hand. And so Sinead's down there finishing up in the garden while I help my parents push on with the project. Thanks, Sinead.
Not a bother.
Hello. Doing a great job. And I thought I might finally get into this PEX tool, figure that out. But first, let's demonstrate to my parents the tank success. Get this thing filling, shut in the filter, and yeah, get some water in there.
Hooray.
So with the flip of the switch, that gets the pump going. And it goes through the little filter. Now it's pushing its way through there, and then finally make its way up there. But I realized I have no way of knowing when this thing is full or when it's emptying because I can't see through the plastic. Which is good news because that means the sun can't get in there either. So I'll have to figure out a tapping method.
Something. That's
Something
what
like
you
that,
said, the tapping
yeah.
method.
Or well,
You'll know when it's full, it'll overflow a bit.
I'll just get up there. Get up there on a giant ladder, poke my head in, see what's happening. Or I do have an overflow set up, so yeah.
Well, if it's overflowing, it's full, and if it's no water coming out, it's empty. Right.
Okay, so I've got a bag full of fittings, and this is for this multi-camata, multi-layer pipe. And it's the squashy fittings as opposed to the screwy-on fittings, which is definitely the technical terms. And if you have the squashy fittings, each fitting is cheaper, but you have to get a tool. And I don't know if there's an option for a manual tool or if this is some super fancy tool that is the only one that you can use, but this is a hydraulic squashy thing run by battery that some friends kindly loaned me. So I'm going to try to get some fittings squashed onto the pipe. And so this is the first time I'll be using this tool. My friend gave me a demonstration. And let's see, push the button. Something comes in from here. Let's just try it and see what happens. Yep, so the idea is you hold the button down until the thing comes in and out. And previous to that, you put the pipe in. So I've never tried this before, as I mentioned. Let's just do it and see how it goes. Okay, so pipe goes in here, up to the little hole, so you can see it's pushed in the whole way. Okay, the pipe goes in. It's lined up to the little rubber piece there. And then I push the button. I'm scared but excited. Here we go. And I think there's probably a way to release this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it looks like we have a squashed on fitting. So this is an end cap, and what I'd like to do is put the end on it and hook it up to the tank, which is this fitting. Oops, this fitting here. So I'm gonna create that connection, and it's gonna allow me to test whether my fittings have been squashed on correctly. This guy's on with the cap, and this is the connection that's gonna go onto the outdoor plumbing hose. So we'll get it all ready and see how these things work. I'm very curious. Okay, I've got my camera sitting in the foliage just to demonstrate how these things go together. There's all kinds of different fittings for some reason. There's blue, there's orange. I find the blue ones to be the easiest to put together, and I think it just depends which store you're at for which one you get. At least that's what I think. I don't think there's any other real differences between them. The black ones, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. So, oops. I don't know what they're like to use. It's not one that I'm super familiar with. So, let's push this on. I think it's a little bit unrolly. Okay. Sort of easy, sort of awkward. Push this up and then you screw this on to tighten it all up somehow. Eventually, come on. There you go. And these don't, as far as I have been told, need Teflon on them. When I originally plumbed my entire property, I spent time wrapping this Teflon stuff, which is kind of annoying to use, around all of those fittings. And I think that was just a massive waste of time. But you definitely need Teflon for the in-between bits. So the tap around the corner coming from the tank is already on. All I need to do now is turn this one on, and if this thing doesn't leak, then the tool is great, and I'll feel really confident about pushing on with the rest of the indoor plumbing. Okay, here we go. Seems good. Seems good. And I'd say the tank is more than half full. And there's a fair bit of pressure coming into that. So I think we're on to a winner. Okay, so that's great news, but the plumbing is a few stages away. I'm gonna jump on helping finish off the crap shack. What are we gonna call it? The surprise outbuilding? We don't know. It probably needs a name. It's gonna have a toilet in there temporarily, and then it's gonna turn into a storage room. So I'm gonna help my dad and mom push on with that, put the plumbing aside, and put the camera away because you're eager to make some noise?
Yeah, I want to get going.
Working on the door.
So, super bulk became super shim.
Do you need any more? You can grab another beer. Looks like that one's a bit wobbly.
No, I'm good.
So the staining superstar is back in action. And
And toilets.
on toilet duty, and I'm working on sanding the rest of the box. Dad's got a door happening. It's all go, go, go. So, I don't know if it's toilet box upcycling. Is it refurbishment? Am I the first person to ever refurbish / upcycle their compost toilet box? I don't know. But
To match the exterior.
it's gonna look fine. Yeah, it'll just blend right into the building.
You won't be able to find it.
That could be unfortunate. But yeah, so painting's continuing. I'm doing some more sanding for my dad's door pieces. And yeah, things are just moving along.
Need painted before we go home.
But I think we're almost ready to call it quits for the day.
Yes, once those boards are painted. And
Okay.
this is finished.
All right.
Looks like it's all my job.
I can help you out. I can help you out. But you are the staining superstar after all.
Yeah.
A title you'd be happy to relinquish. All right, I'll get on the staining once I finish the sanding. Good morning.
Hello, morning. No, go ahead.
You get it?
And we.
Cheers. 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 Okay, morning routine done. Larry.
He's having a big stretch.
Yes, he is.
He's off.
Larry's off to start his day, and I guess
We're on to start ours.
we're ready to start ours. Hello.
Good morning.
So Mom has already done a little sanding, and she's back staining the toilet box with a second coat so we can reassemble. I have a whole bunch of stuff laid out here for the plumbing adventure I'm about to go on. But the first thing I need to do is head to the back of the building and see if I can find a split in the rocks that matches up with the split in the rocks of the inside so that I can more easily drill a hole through, because I'm gonna have to bring 2 pipes into the house. I did this for the shower taps, but they're independent of the rest of the system. So let's head back there and see if I can find an easy way through. And my dad's back here. What you up to? Investigating some electrics?
Yeah, okay.
So we're hoping to connect the pump somehow to the electrics here, but that's...
Yeah, well, when you're done what you're doing, I'll ask you some questions about it.
all right. It's all something that was set up a really long time ago, and I think it needs a second look by me to see what's going on. So I've cleared out the stuff back here, and the idea is to go through the wall somewhere beyond that gray pipe, run some pipes, connect everything up, and, well, we'll see what happens. So I've already measured the interior of the house, and I did it from the center of this pipe, just as a rough estimate, and what I'm looking for is gaps in the stones. So it was 1.10 meters from the pipe, which the camera is currently sitting on stealthily. So that's here, which is a massive, huge rock. And then it was 45 from the ground, which I guess I'm kind of guessing because the ground on the inside is different from the ground on the outside. But that could be around here, this gap right there. So I'm wondering if I might start to drill right around here in that space. And hopefully I can sneak the pipes through this space in the stones here. And hopefully on the other side I don't encounter a big massive stone. So it's all a bit of a guessing game because I don't know what's going on inside the wall. Usually it's just rubble and debris in between the stones, but sometimes there's a big stone in the middle. So the only way to find out is to get the mega drill and just get started. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this works as planned. And hopefully I actually have space to do the drilling. Could be tight. So that looks like a pretty good start, but this drill bit isn't long enough to go the whole way through, so let's get out the Big Daddy. This is the one. Lock and load. So I was hoping this would find a space on the other side, but it looks like it might have gone into a stone. So rather than get this thing stuck again, which seems to happen to me quite often, I'm just going to go slow and steady. Whew. This is tough, but I feel like I must be almost there. Whew. Okay, that sucked. Let's go see what's happening on the other side. I have a feeling it's a hole straight through a piece of stone. which isn't gonna be good for what I wanna do, but at least it gives me something to work with, hopefully. Okay, so I'm looking for a little drill bit. There it is. So this isn't terrible news. If I do it again but angle down just a little bit, I should be able to sneak through this crack here. So, I don't know what my best move is. Maybe I drill from this side to the outside, chip out some of this dirt. So I'm gonna make a plan. I'm gonna get this hole done and get a couple of conduit through the wall so I can then run the pipes. And this just gives me the measurements I need to start cutting pipes and connecting everything together, so I know what fittings I need, because we're going to town tomorrow and I would love a big list of everything I need to actually finish this job. At least going to the bathroom sink, and then the shower, the kitchen sink is going to take a little bit more thinking because I have to run the pipes somehow around the house or through the floor. So making this hole will be a starting point. I'm going to check out for now because you've seen me drill and it's probably not that interesting. And this is hot and sweaty work. So camera's going away, and I'll see you soon when I have a hole and I'm starting to work on the pipes, and then we'll check in with what my mom and dad are doing at that time as well, because these guys are powering on ahead, making the sides of the cabin, toilet, storage room thing, and I think they'll have a lot of progress in a little while. So see you soon. So hole drilling didn't go quite as planned. I might need to find a new spot, but I'm really anxious to get the cold plumbed in, and so I've switched focus just for the moment and made a diagram that looks a little crazy, but it's given me 2 measurements to work with. I know the fittings I need, and I think I might be able to get it done. So first things first, let's cut a couple pieces of pipe and then use this magical tool to get them together. So I've been working away on the pipes and went over to this plant and discovered 2 gorgeous looking strawberries. So we've got the taste testers here, the first of the season.
How come I get the wee one?
Because I'm the boss.
Because you picked first.
All right, who's going first? Get in there.
Yep, very nice. Wee bit tart, but still nice.
Tart, but nice.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
That was a face that said tart, but not nice.
But nice.
Okay.
Delicious. Really strawberry. Nothing like the last strawberry tasting.
Yeah, we did have one before and it was pretty gross. All right.
Delicious.
All right. I love strawberry season. So I've got a lot of pipes to make and cut and make a sort of chamfer end on them with this. So I'm just going to get on with things and see you again when I have everything ready to assemble. Okay, I'm back. We've had some lunch, had a little break. I've gone down to get my dad some more wood to work on the sides. And I've also done all the connections that I think are going to work, at least to get the cold water where it needs to be. So I need to chop this off somewhere around there, add that to that elbow, cap the other end, and basically just crimp everything into place using this amazing tool. This tool is an absolute beast, and I have a feeling it would be very expensive. It's hydraulic. I think the ones that I was looking at were hand powered, and they were over 100 euros. So thanks guys for loaning this to me. The community around here is really, really nice. You put the word out for something that you need, and there's always someone that will come up with some solution, try to help you out. And having a tool like this, it's the sort of thing that would be really good in a tool share, which we don't have set up around these parts yet, but it could be something to think about in the future. So I'm really lucky to have been able to have borrowed this thing, and now it's time to put it to use and hopefully crimp all the fittings and see what the pressure is like coming out of the cold water tap. So I have no doubt there's going to be plumbers out there who are horrified with what I'm doing here, but I'm just learning as I go. I'm trying things out. It's all a lot of trial and error, and this is just how I learn, and I'm working with the fittings that I have. So I will put taps on this to have a shut-off valve. Obviously it's very far out, that's why I have pipe to cut off on the other end. It just gives me wiggle room if I do need a different fitting than what I've got on here. So I've made everything a little longer than it needs to be, and I can refine everything later on. And I think it should be okay. I'll definitely snip this off and put a tap on, or maybe the tap has to go in the corner. I'm not sure how the fittings work, but what I do know is this thing is amazing, and it's time to put it to work. So my point is, apologies to any plumbers out there. I realize my methods are kind of madness. Okay, on you go. On you go. And then here we go. This thing is heavy. This thing is very heavy. Come on. Come on. There you go. Right. So there we have it. The crimp is done and it's secure. I really do like this method. I like these pipes, they're easy to work with, and I've obviously got lots more to work on. So, camera's going away once again, guys, and I'm just gonna crack on with things, and I'll see you very soon with an update on the work. So here we have the last fitting. It's gonna go on, and then we're gonna try everything out. Are you excited?
Yes.
Are you
I'm excited.
super-
My bag of nerves. It's like launching the space shuttle.
I think it's gonna work. We'll get this one crimped and then we'll give it a try. So the reason I have the cap on here is because I don't want the water going into the heater just yet. I really just want to see if the cold is gonna be okay with gravity, and then we'll go from there. So let's get this bad boy crimped. Last one for the moment. Ah, so satisfying. All right, so I guess now we turn the water on and see what happens. So it's all looking pretty janky at the moment, but this is just a test. It will all be refined. I've got Mom and Dad out here ready to turn the tap. Not yet, guys. I'm gonna go inside, give you a shout. But
Tap of truth.
the tap of truth, the moment of truth, the tap of truth, the great reveal.
Oh no.
Call it what you want. So I'm gonna go in the shower and I will shout out. And the signal will be the very creative. You can turn the tap on.
Oh, I don't understand.
Okay, everything is looking crazy until I get that hole done. This is gonna be an absolute chaos area. Are you ready? Turn the tap on. Oh. Something's coming. Something's happening. All right, so it's working, but the pressure isn't amazing. Or is it? I really don't know. Okay, can you turn the tap off? So I did tap duty and my dad went in to take a look, and my mom. What do you guys think of the pressure?
I'm concerned that once it gets up to the shower, it's not going to be enough.
Nah.
We'll think about it, but
Especially washing hair and...
And also once you're... You say you've got that tank nearly full right now?
I'd say it's a little over halfway. That's just a guess. So I guess when the tank is full, there'll be more pressure. But I don't know if I want to count on that. So it looks like this system is going to need a pump after all, and that's going to take some, a little bit more research. Thankfully, my dad's willing to dive into that because I looked at it last night and felt completely overwhelmed. Yeah, so indoor plumbing, I love the crimpy tool, but stuff like the pump and the water heater, so far, I haven't really been able to figure it out. So I think we're gonna wrap up, have an ice cream, and see you again tomorrow. Ice creams?
Ice cream
Last one, then ice cream.
for tonight.
There you go. Ice cream.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's wrap the video up there with ice cream. What better way to finish what I think was a really wonderful video. My parents have really been working hard, and it shows. The water tower structure is, I just think, an amazing thing. And having the tower up there and most of the things working as planned has been wonderful. Still have to figure out the pump and the water heater, but that's coming in a future video. So I have lots of exciting things still to share for my parents' visits. They actually left yesterday, so it was sad to see them go, but I hope they had a good time. And Mom and Dad, thanks for all you do. Thanks for all your love and support and encouragement. And I loved having you here, and I'll see you again soon when I take a trip to Canada. But right now, it's all about catching up on all this footage I've taken while they've been visiting, and I still have loads more to share. So stick around for some more fun with my parents and a lot more work on the water tower and the water systems and a bunch of other things as well. So this video has been a long one, but a good one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.